Social media. I want to talk about something really quick. Also, if you hear background noise, sorry, I no longer have CapCut Premium, so editing out the noise in the background is not a thing for me right now because I have not paid for it. So, yeah, anyways, let's get into this video. Today I want to talk about how brain rotted the whole social media landscape is. And I'm not just talking about TikTok here, I'm talking about YouTube, I'm talking about Instagram, I'm talking about almost every single social media platform, everything. And what I'm getting at is nowadays when you want to, make a video, publish it, you could have the greatest editing style or whatever. You could be fairly interesting, but if it's not brain rot enough, well, unfortunately the algorithm is just not going to put it out. I've seen so many genuine creators doing this for a long time. For an example, me, I've been doing this for like 5, almost 6 years, and basically gone nowhere. I had kind of like a decent startup during COVID, but ever since COVID has kind of slowed down, and the brain rot, goldfish type of attention span for, videos has hit. I've taken kind of a dive, and nobody likes to sit here and listen and everything. Now I can kind of understand, this is kind of like a lazy type of video. All I'm doing is speaking over gameplay. I know 10 times people who do this 10 times better, and they make better content, but the fact is that social media is so brain rotted now that people can't sit down and genuinely watch something without it having to have either crappy, most energetic editing, or it has to be like one of the most bullshit stories I've ever heard come out of someone's ass. Love how I said ass like that. And I think my biggest issue with social media today is that if you're not doing it like all the other people, like, for an example, let's go into the whole figure community here, right? Majority of the time when you see a figure video pop up, it's like, oh my god, I just broke my $2,000 hot toy. And it's like, if your video does not start off like that, then your video is just not going anywhere. No longer does YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or any of these platforms really push genuine, real content. And I think it's genuinely an issue because it's starting to kind of like really destroy social media, in my opinion. No longer are the days where you could sit down, edit like a really good video, and then publish it and get a decent fair amount of views. And don't even get me started on some of the things like no cussing, everything like that. For me, it's kind of an issue because I like to curse. That's how I express myself. It is what it is, bro. Like, if I have to censor my cursing, I will. No longer are the days where you could just actually have somebody, you sit down and you watch a genuine video coming from a genuine human being. Now you have all these clickbait videos, you have all these crappy ass videos that start up with this stupid hook, like, oh my god, like I broke my $7,000 PC or whatever. It's kind of boring and kind of repetitive at this point, and I think social media has just taken a nosedive. It favors the brain rot dumbass over the person who actually wants to put out and make genuine content. And it's fairly annoying. Like, I feel bad for the people, not just like myself, but for the people who are actually making genuine content and can't go anywhere and have to essentially turn themselves into a shithead in order to get views and gain views. No longer the days where if you were an interesting human being, you got views. And honestly, it's just saddening.
Algorithms also don't help either, because majority of the time these algorithms just promote these crappy bigger creators who are constantly shoveling this crap they so-called content. Some platforms, there is a content type of switch where they kind of value real type of content, but lately it hasn't felt like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, the usual type of stuff. And I get it, these content creators, no hate to them, get your bag. But it's also kind of annoying when you have people making genuine content and we can't go anywhere because the algorithm favors the bull crap.